Hello everyone and welcome back to English 1510 Comp 1 Asynchronous Course at OCC Section A132. Again, for this 12-week course, you're getting individualized ones this semester due to a couple of disruptions with grading platforms. So on here, I just want to remind everyone we're now in the rhetorical analysis stage. I had quite a few students did submit the summary and outline on time, the majority of class. I'm still going through and reviewing those. I did start posting those up already for those. Before the end of the week, I'll have everyone's summary and outline for rhetorical analysis reviewed and graded, so you'll have that to work off of while you're doing your rough drafts too. But remember, you're doing rough draft in the process of it for the peer review forum. You're not waiting for the summary outline feedback. By the time that goes through, you guys will have both of those, and then your final draft will be done by reviewing the summary outline feedback and your classmates. Let's note that in the discussion board category, that Dropbox is available. The discussion board area is available now. Everyone has to both post and review a classmates by the 20th, and the final draft becomes available on the 19th. The final draft will be due on the 28th. So I have nothing that's going to be due during what's technically a holiday break, but for an online async, and especially in that 12-week, technically you don't really get much besides the couple of days there. You still have a submission that's due right after it finishes. But on week 7, you guys had the discussion board open up, and you guys had the rough draft become part of the component there. For week 8 now, you're still working on rough draft here, and as I said, I'm posting up summary, outline, feedback. I got a couple of them up already, and I got a few more to go up for the next 24 hours. And then now, working on your draft, make sure that those, I'm not differentiating between the dates on these. It's open as of the 6th, and everyone has to both post your rough draft and have reviewed a classmate by 11:30 p.m. on the 20th. That guarantees that by the 19th or 20th, every student will have the peer review of a classmate and my feedback on the summary outline to then work on refer to for doing the final draft, which will be due on the 28th. All right. The other thing that's going to come open at the end of this week, with a video that's still going to launch next Monday, is going to be the research paper summary and working thesis. If I can get it open earlier, I will, but I have a lot of things going on with this class, students' feedback files and submissions. So at the very latest, still next Monday. And then the summary and working thesis portion, you guys have this Dropbox that'll come available. I'm going to make the Dropbox itself open up earlier. It's just the instructional video for this part of the semester. Won't be open up, and for this assignment won't be opened up till Monday, but you'll be able to review that Dropbox before the end of this week. So if you refresh your screen right now by just going here and clicking course home, you should see that the research paper summary and outline, it's listed in here still due as the 27th, but you should be able to click on it and have access to it. As I said, the actual overview video for week 9 I will launch still on that Monday, but you can start reviewing this week at any time you want, because this is due the 27th, the Monday after the break. I can't, in a 12-week semester, I can't go anymore, stretch it out anymore with still completing all the assignments. So that portion there, I do have in this week right now, you got full text peer reviewed. Once you guys figure out which topic you're going to pick out of that Dropbox, that when it's talking about full text available peer reviewed, going under here under student services, let's say out of those topics you pick media literacy, go here to library, and if you put in something like media literacy or music therapy, click on search. You have to also watch those videos, obviously, in D2L. But full text available and peer-reviewed journals, make sure you apply both those filters so that everything you're getting is a peer-reviewed source. And this is the content you'll be reading and reviewing and then sourcing for your research pieces. You can get started on those now so that you can complete your summary and outline as soon as you're ready to do so with those content things. But for this week, in terms of the official due dates, you just have the rhetorical analysis rough draft coming up and your submission to the discussion board and review of a classmates. All right. In week 8 here, last week you didn't have anything additional with these. Now this week it says full text available peer-reviewed sources. You're also going to see some sample articles that I put up here, one for each one of the categories that are possible for your research topics. But I also have assigned here under your content file above the research videos from the research librarians. These are assigned now for this week, and next week there will be 2 more that launch, or that are set as the part of the assignment for week 9. Those are all listed here, so you can review them at any time that you want and you're ready to. But the first 2 that are assigned are this week, and the other 2 will be assigned officially for next week. Those are familiarizing you guys with these databases and doing actual research versus just a general web search online. And there is a huge difference because we are selecting for peer-reviewed content. Okay, so again, this week everyone's watching for my feedback on rhetorical analysis summary outline. Those are already started. You're doing a rough draft of there. Your diagnostic rewrites, if you're doing one, that is optional, but they are due on the 19th as well. Everyone got a full feedback file on diagnostic. That also includes your tutoring recommendation. I want to remind you guys with these, I've only seen feedback, or I've only seen confirmation from a handful of students who are adhering to these. And I'm also as I said, posting up the final draft feedback files for memoir. I should have those back to this class for everyone, along with rhetorical analysis, summary, and outlines. Everyone should have their file and posted grade on both this final draft and then this summary outline by the end of this week. Okay, if you don't see the final draft grade and feedback file on these by the end of this week, notify me on Friday. But these ones on summary, outline, and rough draft, there are some students who already got all this back. Some students are going to get this first, the final draft on it, because the grading platform wasn't available during these. It is available more consistently now. It's still not perfect, but I'm getting more regular access to it. So I'm making sure both of these are finished by the end of this week. Then we shouldn't have, I'm told anyways, we shouldn't have any more issues with those as we move forward. So once you see the memoir final draft pop up for you guys with the graded file and the feedback file, there's going to be a window to do a rewrite by the end of the semester for that one as well, but that'll be the last rewrite that's available to you guys. For these, for the memoirs, I also want to say though, guys, what I've graded so far on those diagnostic, memoir, and now summary outlines on rhetorical analysis, there's several of you that still have major issues at the sentence level. Remember, this is not a remediation course. I made tutoring recommendations, and if you're not adhering to that and going to the Academic Support Center and having someone help you with drafting stage, it's not the obligation of a professor in a Comp 1 or Comp 2 to go line by line and tell you how to fix your spelling and comma splices and run-ons. You self-placed into a Comp 1 class that's asynchronous online in a college course, you're expected to have already understood both the platform of D2L, because you had to do the online readiness, and those sentence level skills that you're supposed to be able to you're coming into the college with. This isn't the remediation course. This is a composition course focused on content and the context of that content, the tone and things like that, and the type of diction that you use, and what type of support statements that you make, and whether or not you're using clear transitional elements and thesis statements and topic sentences. Not going through and saying you've misspelled or you don't know the difference between IT'(S) or ITS, and you don't know how to capitalize the start of sentences or follow directions on basic requirements of overviews and analysis and summaries and outlines. I went through on rhetorical analysis, summary, and outline so far in this class, and I have 3 out of the 7 that I completed have less than 100 words in the summary. The minimum was 200, so that's a markdown. I have several of you who didn't complete the general to specific intro portion, so that's a markdown. On memoir final drafts, number of students had 6, 7, and 8 paragraphs. When it was specifically an assignment here on memoir, this was very, very specific on what was assigned for this and what the requirements were for each one of the paragraphs. In the framing of this, body intro, body 1, 2, 3, and conclusion, 5 specific paragraphs that had very specific functionality. And I have many students that had more than 5, which means you didn't follow basic directions, and you certainly can't expect someone to be able to indicate or determine where your complication was supposed to be if instead of having 3 body paragraphs, you have 4, 5, or 6 of them. Okay, the layout here was very specific in accordance with not just the theme and the assignment itself, but the type of goals we had with each one of the paragraphs, what we were trying to accomplish. So for some students, you're going to want to do a rewrite on both diagnostic and memoir, because on the memoir, there are a lot of things, just grammar, mechanics, style, punctuation, that you get marked down on, but I'm not going to go through and do a line by line in every single thing when that's something that would be required in a remediation course. Okay. Other than that, guys, this week, as I said, these assignments, the diagnostic rewrite, I'm going to post here under reading, full text available peer-reviewed sources. I'm going to put one example for every one of the topics. It'll look just like this, and it'll be this same list. This is just from a class that's 1 week ahead of you guys. So if you're going through and let's say you pick music therapy as your topic, you would go into the database and put in music therapy and you find peer-reviewed articles. For this one here, this one, sometimes what's going to happen in the links, it's still asking you to log in. So once you log in, if it doesn't take you directly to that link, you might have to go back to the database here and simply take this title and do a copy and paste into the database search right here and just search it that way, because for some of you it's not going to come up because the access is not allowing you. If you log in and you're in the platform before searching these, it should take you directly to it. So some of these like this, I'm already logged in on the platform, so it takes me on the daily exercise, importance of, takes me directly to one of these peer-reviewed sources, the importance of daily physical activity for improved exercise tolerance and heart failure. So this would be one of the reports you could read through. You can start with the abstract, read the background, objective, methods, and results, and then read the whole entire report that's down here. And you also have what are very helpful to you guys are the go-tos, the abstracts, something like this, and you can actually just review that. You also have the possibility of just using citation function for these. Please note that on this you have these identifiers that are at the end, and you need to make sure that you put it in a formatting of MLA. We want MLA 8th edition. Depending on what the format is on here, it'll pop up and show you those. And you can also find something like this if we were citing here when you're actually in the database platform. Once it goes to this page, if it gives it to me. Okay, that one wasn't loading. This one is loading though. Building blocks of digital media literacy, socio-material participation in the production of media knowledge. So here's a peer-reviewed study. You can go to the online access and review it. And let's say you pick this one and want to use it. You can click on citation and use the citation function here to do a copy and paste. Just note that if you're using the correct one, and don't use ChatGPT because it won't give you the right references. But if you're using the correct one, typically they'll have a DOI at the end like this, Digital Object Identifier. And this is how we know that it's not from a ChatGPT, because this is timestamped for your IP and the individual access you used for it. So it'll take me right back to your access point on the article. Okay, so those are some of the things that I want you guys, noting for this week. For those of you who want to move ahead on those, obviously, I'm going to put these articles in here so you got examples of them, and you can pick your research topic at any time, move forward with those, start it now, or you can get to it next week. I leave that open to you, because officially for this week, these are the assignments you're watching. Next week, technically for the 27th and 28th, you got these two that'll be due. That'll give you the 27th on Monday, rhetorical analysis final draft by the following day on Tuesday. And by that time, you should have had plenty of time with access with my summary and outline feedback and grade and your classmates' feedback in the discussion board. All right? Once again, I'm posting up both memoir final drafts and summary outlines for rhetorical analysis by the end of this week. That should be everyone. guys, and I apologize again for the memoir summary outline and rough draft. There was nothing I could do there with the grading platform. All right, if you have any questions, remember we're using instant messaging up here only, and we'll go from there. All right, have a great week.